We are a little over a week from Election Day in San Antonio's runoff elections, where voters will decide the next mayor of San Antonio. Steve Spriester joining us now. And you're not experiencing deja vu. We have talked about this before. We're here to talk about it again because we've got a runoff in the mayor's race, 3 different city council districts. Let's talk about the mayor's race specifically. What are your thoughts on that now?
They've shifted a little bit from election night. On election night, if you look at current trends, it seems as if the person that finishes second on the general election comes and wins the runoff. That's certainly the way it was with Phil Harberger when he beat Julian Castro. It was that way with Ivy Taylor. It was that way with Ron Nirenberg just 2 years ago. I really, at this point, feel like this is a toss-up, but if you talk to people who aren't necessarily connected to either of these candidates, Greg Brockhouse or Ron Nirenberg, they're going to tell you that the early vote numbers seem to favor Ron Nirenberg.
And why is that?
They've had very good turnout for the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They feel that if the election turnout, the total number from early voting and day of voting is more than 105,000, that seems to be the magic number. If it's more than 105,000, they seem to believe that that bodes well for Ron Nirenberg and that Ron Nirenberg will win.
Because so often isn't the theory that supporters of the incumbent are less likely to turn out in a runoff?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
But actually runoff elections, it's not unusual for runoff elections to have higher voter turnouts than general elections in San Antonio. That is a historical trend that we've seen.
Interesting.
It's also interesting how, I talked about my thoughts have kind of shifted since election night, because election night I figured it's a toss-up. Right now, the Nuremberg people seem a little bit more optimistic. It's also switched in the way we're seeing media buys.
Yes.
In the general election, it was all Ron Nirenberg commercials, no Greg Brockhouse commercials. We're still seeing no Greg Brockhouse commercials per se, but the fire and police unions have come out very strongly in favor of Brockhouse against Ron Nirenberg, and that has been a switch. We have not seen any television buys, at least on KSAT, from Ron Nirenberg right now.
And right before Election Day, the first time around, we saw the Nirenberg camp put up that website talking about how Greg Brockhouse was not fit for mayor, all the reasons that they believe that was. But now what we're seeing on air, on TV, are ads attacking Ron Nirenberg.
Which is interesting. It's also, so right now they're calling the mayor a liar. Ron Nirenberg, stand up to Ron's lies, I believe, which isn't that different than just 2 years ago when they were calling him Liberal Ron. Remember that? And it's actually the same guy that's kind of behind both those ads. And it'll be interesting to see if these ads actually suppress voter turnout.
Interesting to see whose camps are going negative in different points in this race.
We're just a little over a week from Election Day. A lot can happen.
Yes.
in those days. So, but
yeah.
That's the way we're kind of reading the tea leaves right now.
Okay, and of course we have runoffs also in District 2, 4, and 6, so 4 races to be decided. Election Day is on June 8th. We'll have all your coverage here on KSAT 12. Thanks for being with us, Steve.
Thanks, Myra.